Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Closer Look, the show dedicated to bringing you the facts. We ask the questions no one else will, and we get the answers that no one else can. I'm Arabina Apia. Thanks so much for joining us. When Timothy Gibson penned the lyrics to March on Bahamaland all those years ago, he did so with a vision in mind. A vision of a gloriously bright future lit by the Bahamian sun, led by a people with an enduring commitment to love, unity, and excellence. In many ways, we have exemplified that vision. In fact, I think were he still here, Gibson would be especially proud of the mark we've left on the world. And why wouldn't he be? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Pound for pound, we as Bahamians have proven ourselves to be among the world's most talented athletes, creatives, and scholars. The world has indeed marked the manner of our bearing. But what can I say? It seems like even now, 49 years later, it's that part about love and unity that keeps tripping us up. Today, we stand at the precipice of another year as an independent nation, just 1 year shy of our Golden Jubilee. For the first time in 2 years, we will get to experience the magic of an in-person celebration, an appropriately socially distanced, fully vaccinated, and boosted in-person celebration, but in-person nonetheless. Aren't we all excited? Who's ready to fly their flags and wear their colors and adorn themselves in androgyny print just because? I am. More than just an opportunity for us to be outside again, however, this year's independence celebrations mark an opportunity for us to get it right. After all, isn't that what we do for birthdays? We reflect, we assess, and we plan our next moves. As we embark on this journey toward the 50th anniversary of independence, I want to challenge each and every one of us to aspire to that common loftier goal that we sing about in our national anthem. What does that look like? That looks like addressing the root causes of our social ills. It looks like holding each other accountable. But most importantly, it looks like acknowledging our history and our mistakes and vowing to never repeat them again. While we have much to collectively celebrate, there's even more than we can collectively work toward achieving. When in doubt, think of those words penned by Timothy Gibson all those years ago. Let us move forward, upward, and onward, navigating that treacherous shoal together. We have an action-packed show for you tonight. Stay tuned for more of a closer look as we take you behind the scenes of this year's Independence Day celebrations. Find out what to expect from our first post-COVID celebrations and take a look at all the ways that you can celebrate your Bahamian heritage just in time for July 10th. Stay with us. There's more after this.
I'm proud to be Bahamian simply because of the uniqueness of the Bahamian culture and everything that we represent as a people. It doesn't matter where you go in the world, you will never find a group of people that speak like we do, that cook like we do, that express themselves in the way that Bahamians do. You can't find any music that's like Bahamian music or any group of people rather that dance like Bahamians dance when it comes to Junkanoo or anything. And like I said with the people, Bahamians are resilient. We're a strong group of people. We bounce back, and in times of need especially, we come together. So I think all of that makes me proud to be Bahamian.
The health of the nation is the wealth of a nation. This year's Independence celebration is going one step further to make sure that we're collectively maintaining our national wellness, both physical and mental. For more on this year's National Day of Wellness, we go now to our OPM correspondent, Jillian Gray. Jillian?
Rabs, they say your health is wealth, and I've definitely been getting wealthy out here. Listen, I had an opportunity to have an exclusive workout session with one of our coaches, Coach Jay, who is going to be training us on National Wellness Day. Listen to me, we worked up a sweat, and let me just take you into it.
Breathe. 2. There you go. Keep the core tight. There you go. Not so wide to speed. Yeah. There you go. Oh, good stuff. Way to breathe, man. Good stuff. Let's go straight into squats, straight into squats, straight into squats.
So we started out pretty easy, but it was downhill from there.
Good form. Way to keep the knees behind the toes. Way to drop the hip, chest up, chin up. Way to continue to breathe in it. Oh, man, we're doing great. We can do this all day. We can do this.
We can't do this all day.
49 for the 49th year. Come on. We got it. We got it. 4 more. 4. There you go. 3. Good stuff. 2. And 1.
From curbing what you eat to monitoring portion sizes, Coach Jay says focusing on fitness and staying active will save you money on doctor's bills.
We need to pay more attention to what we're consuming into our bodies. So read the labels. When we see sugar-free, they're not necessarily, we're just looking for the word sugar, but sugar has so many different names. So it's time for us to be more intentional with what we're eating and make sure we know that the peas and rice, the macaroni, and the potato salad, that's too much starch.
We had one last exercise to do, and it turned out upper body is my kryptonite.
Let's get some upper body now. You're jogging out. Give me some push-ups, man. Keep going.
I could.
Keep in your position. There you go. Raise this up a little bit. There you go. Yes, again. Yeah. Good stuff. Good job, man. Good job.
What do people expect from the National Day of Wellness fitness session?
Well, on that day, we're going to do junk aerobics. So it's going to be an aerobic style with the junkaloo and the flair of junkaloo. So once you hear junkaloo music, you get the energy, because when we have fun exercising, we enjoy it more, we stay more engaged, we hit it, we don't even know we're exercising. Yeah. So when you hear the junkaloo song, you gotta move. You even want more. You gotta move. So you get it. Yeah, they wheel and turn. We got it. So once you hear that music, that's what we expect. Junk aerobic. So we're gonna hit it. We're gonna warm it up. We're gonna hit it, and be done.
Awesome. See, that was my problem.
Bring your junkaloo to the nationals.
I did not have junkaloo music out here. That was my problem.
Okay.
I could have gone all day. No. So we want you to definitely tune in for our National Day of Wellness with Coach Jay. And listen, it's going to be tremendous. Rabs, I want to see you there.
Thank you so much for that piece, Jillian. Again, I'm glad to see a national spotlight being shown on wellness and well-being. Well, this year's Independence celebrations will also include a few days in the dugout for some of our country's most talented baseball players. That's right, the Babe Ruth Caribbean Baseball Championship Experience is just one of the premier events planned for Independence weekend. For details, we go back to our very own Jillian Gray.
From July 7th to the 11th, the bases will be loaded and the diamond shining bright as the Babe Ruth Caribbean Baseball Championships and Invitational gets underway here in the Bahamas.
This is the first time that Babe Ruth Baseball is hosting a tournament outside of the United States, a tournament that carries their name. And it is a privilege.
Greg Burris counts it an honor to be responsible for developing the Babe Ruth brand in the Caribbean. The Bahamas winning this bid to host the tournament means a big economic boost for the economy. One team has more than 80 people supporting them, and we're looking at nearly 20 different countries participating.
When you speak about sports tourism, we have to now look at giving the teams days off, because the team from Aruba is talking about going to see the swimming pigs in Exuma. So they are telling me that they have to have a day off because they want that. If they come this far, they want to see or experience that when they're down here. So it's the baseball tourism or sports tourism is alive. The reconstruction of these facilities speaks to how serious the government is, and particularly the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture.
This tournament paves the road to the World Series. Players from countries like China, the Netherlands, Cuba, St. Martin, and of course the Bahamas will compete in the under 12 and under 16 categories. Besides the economic impact for food vendors and tourism stakeholders, there also remains opportunities for baseball players.
Major League Scouts, they like the fact that we bring in a tournament in this close proximity to the United States, and they could then have a look at some of the boys from around the world all in one place. The tournament gives the opportunity for our kids to be showcased home. They know of us traveling a whole lot to play youth baseball. They hear stories, but now it could give us the opportunity to see how well the kids could play, and hopefully we will win this tournament and take our rightful spot in the World Series.
Well, the excitement is building, and one thing I know for sure, Bahamians are definitely excited to see our boys play. We know that this invitational will be a home run. Back to you, Rabs.
Well, I think Babe Ruth would be proud to see all of the impressive baseball talent that our country has to offer. Thanks again, Jillian, for getting us all the deets of that upcoming showcase. Our next segment is dedicated to Bahamian men and women who have and continue to make invaluable contributions to the story of our great nation. Our social media correspondent, Catherine Gomez, sits down with Permanent Secretary Jack Thompson in our next piece. Catherine?
Thanks, Arabana. This week we'll be focusing on all things independence. And today I'll be speaking with Jack Thompson, the Permanent Secretary of the Office of the Governor General, who will tell us what's in store this independence. Although National Heroes Day is a public holiday that is celebrated annually on the second Monday in October, the public announcement of the approved slate of national awardees is made by the Governor General on July 10th, 2022. Permanent Secretary Jack Thompson talks about the importance of honoring Bahamians who have put their blood, sweat, and tears into building our Bahamian society.
I have this thing, about us honoring persons after they would have passed. So-and-so is a great woman. Oh, that's a great man. Oh, that's a, and I just think it is just so good to recognize. We have many outstanding Bahamian citizens. I think of sports. I mean, come on. I think of and Lignum Vitae, they honor that particular category of honors is for young people. And so we have a lot of young people who are doing wonderful things. So I think of sports, I think of culture, I think in the field of education, I think in the field of the arts and sciences. I think of persons who are bravery. I mean, who go above and beyond the call of duty in their particular discipline. It is so important, and we should not. After 49, 50 years, and I say 49, 50 because that's where we're headed, we should not have to look outside the country for our heroes.
Mr. Thompson said it is important to remember that these ordinary Bahamians who have risen to the status of national heroes have come from all walks of life.
They're right amongst us. They're in our backyard, they're in the workplace, they're down the road, they're in the back, they're all around.
Thompson says we have been through so much as a people, so he is excited to celebrate this independence to the fullest.
I am excited about the fact that despite the obstacles and the challenges, particularly in the past 2 years with the COVID-19 and the Dorian, we've been able to come and to rise, talk about the phoenix, I mean, above the ashes. And, I sometimes believe with all of my heart that we have some praying people here. When you really look at it, we could have been much worse than we are today. And I'm grateful for the fact that we have put our shoulders to the wheel, we square our shoulders, and we say we're going to get above and beyond this point. We're not going to stay down. We've had some challenging times. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited that we can celebrate each other. I think we have a rich culture. I think we have a phenomenal history. I think we're great people. But if we keep on downing ourselves and putting ourselves down and looking elsewhere, then when are we going to lift ourselves up and look at who we are and what we've achieved? And I think the 49th anniversary theme, Proud to be Bahamian, it's so profound. I mean, we should be proud of who we are.
We look forward to the presentation of these awards so that we can celebrate with our local heroes. I'm Catherine Gomez for A Closer Look.
Thank you, Catherine. As mentioned, on Independence Day itself, the official announcement of the National Honors recipients will be made, and in October, a formal ceremony will be hosted by Government House to recognize these outstanding citizens. I can't wait to celebrate with them. When we come back, we sit down with the head of the Independence Celebration Committee, Leslie Bryce.
I'm proud to be a Bahamian because I realize that this is the gateway. Modern history for the Western Hemisphere started with the Bahamas. And if you've lived here as long as I have, it is such a beautiful and interesting place. Interesting history, interesting people. I'm not talking about the food, and I'm not talking about all the great places you can visit while you're here. Or you can entertain yourself if you're a local. It's just the most wonderful place in the world.
Welcome back. You're watching A Closer Look. I'm Aradhana Appiah. Thanks so much for joining us. Our next guest is no stranger to the spotlight, political or otherwise. After being elected as the Member of Parliament for Seabreeze, she was then appointed as the Ambassador of the Bahamas to the CARICOM community. Now she's been given the monumental task of spearheading this year's celebrations for the 49th Annual Independence Day. Welcome, Ambassador Leslie Bryce.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so this independence is 1 year away from our Golden Jubilee, and I know that you've been involved since taking office, involved in so many other initiatives as well. Can you give us an idea of what some of those initiatives have been?
Well, one of the major initiatives that I've been a part of, and I'm so honored to have been involved in that, is the royal visit of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge to our beautiful shores. One thing that we made sure was that the Duke and Duchess got a chance to visit our family islands. That was so very important to us because we want to ensure that in everything that we do, it's not just Nassau-centric.
Absolutely.
And so involving our family islands was extremely important to us. In going to the island of Abaco, wow, the Duke and Duchess was so impressed with the strength of the Abaconians, their resilience, coming through both Hurricane Dorian and the pandemic. Yeah. I mean, you felt the love, you felt the energy. Abaco truly outdid themselves as it relates to that. And so we were proud to be there. We were very happy. And just the spirit of the people, the love that they showed and their interaction with the Duke and the Duchess it really spoke of us and who we are as a people. And so the Duke and Duchess was really grateful for that warm welcome to Abaco. Something else that I was involved with was the Sydney Poitier event, our tribute to a Bahamian hero.
Absolutely.
An icon, a legend, who spent his entire life putting us on the global stage. And one thing that he never forgot and always spoke about is his beautiful country and Cat Island,
yes,
where he grew up, you know. And so I'm just honored to be here, and I'm proud of everything that our country is doing, and so I'm just grateful.
So it's safe to say that our independence celebrations are in good hands then, because those two are some monumental things that you've been a part of. And I know that this year there's a clear attempt to sort of, push a sense of diversity and inclusivity for all sectors of the country. How important was that for you?
Well, we are a group of diverse people.
I agree.
Right? And you love something, and I love something, and we all have different likes.
Yeah.
We have a love for culture, some have a love for food, some have a love for family, some have a love for togetherness, some have a love for the church community and the gospel family that we have.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to ensure that with this 49th, on all of our festivities and activities, that we were able to engage all Bahamians, and at least you can find one thing that you would want to be a part of. And so that was important. And let me tell you, the committee that is working on this team, the local organizing committee, superb, spectacular. We work day and night to ensure that everything that we present to the Bahamian public is up to standard, that everything is done in excellence,
Absolutely.
just so the Bahamian public can truly be proud.
So this is the first independence celebration post-COVID. We outside.
We outside.
We outside. Everybody's excited to be outside.
We outside
okay.
safely. What are we wearing?
Masks, socially distanced, appropriate, vaccinated, fully vaccinated,
sanitized,
all of that.
Yes.
Fully vaxxed, but we outside.
Yes.
So how is the committee planning to maximize its efforts to really get as many people to be out, to be involved and participating in all of the events that are planned?
Well, you know, the world is speaking through social media. And the Bahamas is also speaking through social media. And so we have engaged talent who is helping us and assisting us with ensuring that we get the word out. We're using our local media, of course, and I'm here today on a closer look. And so we're doing all that we can to ensure that the word gets out. We want to ensure that as many Bahamians know about everything that's happening, and not only in Nassau.
Absolutely.
Our social media pages will also show what's happening throughout the Family of Islands as well. We've been fully engaged with the Family Islands, and they are excited because, you know, it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years, and they have a lot of activities planned.
So that leads me to my next question, because you know, we get a little sensitive. I'm from Freeport. We get a little sensitive when things are all Nassau-centric.
Yes.
So let's talk about the Family Islands and all of the independence celebrations that are planned for the Family of Islands, Grand Bahama, Abaco, who've, you know, sort of been struggling post-hurricane, post-pandemic. What are some of the exciting things that those residents can look forward to?
Well, they can look forward to, on almost every island, we're going to have an ecumenical service. How important is that to give God thanks and praise for how far He would have brought us from as a nation, as a country. They have basketball tournaments planned. Most of the islands are having like a mini concert, a Bahamian concert. Cat Island is doing a rake and scrape festival, I think, or they're doing something rake and scrape. Yes, and so the islands are fully engaged. They're ready. We've been in contact with the family administrators. Anything that they need, we've been ensuring that they get it. We are definitely here to support them in any way that we possibly can.
So, Ambassador, my final question would be, what message do you want to send to Bahamians for the 49th anniversary of independence?
Now, do you know what our theme is?
Tell me.
Our theme is proud to be Bahamian. That is truly the message that we want to send out. Proud to be Bahamian. We have so much to be proud for. We are proud of our athletics. I mean, just to see Clay Thompson with that flag draped just like you, draped across his shoulders. We have so much to be proud for as a country, as a nation, as a people. And so with walking away from our 49th anniversary, we just want persons to understand and to know that just to say that you are Bahamian and to wear this Bahamian pin, you should be proud.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here, Ambassador. I really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. We'll have more with Ambassador Leslie Bryce to find out more of what's happening for the 49th anniversary of independence. Be sure to follow @CelebrateBahamas across all social media platforms. And we're not quite done with our independence episode just yet. Stay with us. There's more of a closer look after the break. And when we return, the celebrations get me out from behind the desk and in the field with our very own Marco Sambrister for a first-hand look at the beach retreat. Stay with us.
I am proud to be a Bahamian because of how creative we are. There is so much talent here in the Bahamas. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's like so many genres of talent that we have. We're also extremely funny. I love the way that Bahamian people can find a joke in absolutely anything. And I love being Bahamian because of how resilient we are. We make spaces in rooms that weren't even extended to us. I just love being Bahamian because we're that people.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching A Closer Look. I'm Arabina Apia, and for this year's independence celebrations, I ventured out into the field with our correspondent Marco Sambrister for one of the staple events of the independence holiday, complete with cultural displays that tell a story of our history. Take a look.
Well, joining me for the very first time out in the field is none other than Ravana here.
Oh, goodness gracious. Hi, Marcos.
Hi, Ravana. I am so happy to have you out here.
Thank you so much for inviting me along.
We're currently actually out at Arawaki with the world-famous Shell Saxon Superstars.
World-famous, absolutely.
We're here to see a little bit about what it is that they're getting ready to give us for the People's Rush. And you know, at the end of Tattoo, normally, the firework goes off, and right afterwards, we're going to hit Masonry, and we're going to get ready for the People's Rush.
We're going to rush.
Love and unity. Hey! And also, another thing that we're getting ready to prepare for is we're going to take you out to Masonry, where we're going to prepare for the beat retreat.
For the first time in 2 years, Bahamians will be able to gather in person to mark the 49th anniversary of independence. This year's highly anticipated series of events will include some new elements, but will also see the return of some independence favorites, like the annual Beat Retreat, which highlights the showmanship of the famed Royal Bahamas Police and Defense Force bands. We caught up with RBDF band's leader, Chief Petty Officer Matthew Rowe, during their official rehearsal this week. He says they're looking forward to putting on a spectacular show that Bahamians everywhere can be proud of.
We look forward to showing you the touch of the islands. We're going from Inagua to Grand Bahama, from Abaco to Bimini. We're going to stop in Cat Island, pick some pineapples in Eleuthero, and come up to Long Island just to sail away in the boat. Oh, you don't want to miss it.
Now, as you can imagine, fitting this rigorous daily rehearsal schedule into their regular activities can be tasking, but he explains to us how they've managed to do it all.
We are able to move at a moment's notice. We have a set schedule for performances, and we have bookings that are in advance. We know that, hey, in July 11th, July 12th, we have this event. So we're prepping for that. And the command gives a call that, hey, we need you to do this. We're able to lift and shift at a moment's notice.
And as I was chatting up with the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Band, Arabana got the chance to speak with the leadership of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band.
I'm here with Superintendent Selden Adderley. He's the director of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band, and we saw an amazing display from them earlier. Give us an idea, sir, what sort of preparation goes into getting the officers ready for a show on base?
Oh my goodness. The world famous Royal Bahamas Police Force Band, really and truly, what we do is really a production. Normally we use about 3 months preparation, and then we get to practice our routine. We start with ideas, usually around 8 p.m.
This year, the band's prep time was significantly cut down, giving them just 1 month to prepare for the upcoming show.
So of course this year's team is proud to be a Bahamian, and so we try to think about ways that we could be proud of being Bahamian. So we thought about traveling through the islands and finding things that are suitable indigenous to the various family islands. And then, of course, the different cultural aspects of being Bahamian.
Reporting for a closer look, I'm Marcos Ambrister.
Marcos and I had a blast. Thank you so much to the entire team for taking us into the Inter-Sanctum and giving us a look at all of the hard work that goes into creating this amazing cultural display. But the Beat Retreat was only part of our adventure. Later in the evening, Marcos and I had the opportunity to be center stage at the People's Junkanoo Love and Unity Rush rehearsal at Arawak Key with the Saxons Superstars. And there's nothing like some good old Junkanoo music to get you in the independence mood. As we end this week, we want to leave you with those amazing highlights. But before I go, I recall the words of Priscilla Rollins, who told us that Independence morning is like a baby borning. And each year, the Bahamas gets older, but we're presented with a new opportunity to grow, to learn, to be better than we were before. Never let us take those opportunities for granted. From the entire team here at A Closer Look, we wish you and yours a happy Independence Day. Till next week, I'm Arabana Apia. Happy birthday, Bahamas.